Everyone. Today we want to talk about hyper investments. I want to take you through understand how they work and understand how we can invest and get returns on hyper investments. Hyper investments is a high yield investment program that you can invest money and get returns. We'll go through this sites after this presentation. We'll go through one of the sites to understand how the site works. But today we want to understand the background of hyper investment. We are going to go through our objections today as we go through this training. We want to understand what is hyper investments. We want to understand how hyper investments operates. We want to identify scammers, to understand how to invest in hyper investments, and also to understand what is hyper, understand what is scamming. Those are the objectives that we want to understand. We'll be very fast because we just want to do our video in a very short period of time. So in terms of hyper investments, these are, like what we have said, these are high yield investments where you are promised a certain percentage of money within a short period of time. For example, you are promised 105% in one day. Sometimes even promise your amount within an hour or 24 hours or 48 hours. These are what we call high yield investment program. So these high yield investment programs, usually you can just identify them by promising high returns. The cutting point is whereby they promise you more than 10% per month. So you can safely know that this is a hyper project when the project promises more than 10% per month. Some of them are genuine and some of them are scams. So we need to understand how them in order to be able to invest on hyper so that you can avoid investing on scams and lose your money. The key features of hyper investments, there is one thing that is certain. They guarantee you high profitability without risk. They'll tell you that there's no risk. The moment that you invest your money, you get your returns and they will promise you high profits. Some of them use apps, they don't have details of organization, contact, licenses, and official document. Some of them have got forged documents, but most of them have got proper documents. The other thing that you can identify a hyper is that there is secret in terms of their investment data. They don't show you how they invest your money. They don't show the record of your money, where the money has been invested, but they tell you in essence that we invest your money in mining, we invest your money in forex trading. They will give you different areas that they invest your money, but you never get proof that your money has been invested there. And also they promise returns within a short period of time, like what I've said, and they offer a fixed percentage of more than 10% per annum. That's how you can identify a hyper investment. Any investment that has got these key features, it's a high yield investments. They will never agree, and some of the people that refer you never agree that the project is a high yield investment. But you need to understand that as long as you've got these key features, then it's a high yield investment. Also, we've got what we call HyperMonitor. HyperMonitor is a site that tries to monitor all the hypers, or that lists hypers on its sites and also lists the status of the hyper, whether the hyper is paying or not. And also a brief review of the hyper site. It will give you a review of the hyper site, whether it's registered, how much deposited on the site. It will give you. So when we invest on hypers, we use this hyper monitor in order for us to get a review on the hyper that we want to invest. So it will give you a review and it will enable you to decide whether to invest on the site or not. So generally, that's what But what you need to understand, these hyper monitors, they advertise for hyper sites, and also they are paid by the hypers to advertise for them. So we need to be very, very careful with the hyper monitor, because some of them are scams also, because they get money from the hyper sites. So you need to get a very trusted hyper monitor. Is it safe to invest in a hyper? That's the most of the question that people have asked me. I've been investing in hyper sites for the last 5 years from 2015, and I've been making money and making some losses, but most of the time I'm able to recover my money because I follow the strict rules that I shall present today when making investments. So you need to understand, because most of these hypers, they are short-lived. Some of them will live up to 3 months, but the majority of them, usually they only survive up to 1 month. But we have got some of the project or hyper size that can survive even up to 2 years. These are an exceptions. And also, it depends on the return that they give per day or per hour or any time. So generally, that is a hyper site. So you need to be careful when you invest. I'm going to just highlight some things that you need to know before you invest on a hyper site. The golden rule is invest only what you can afford to lose. This is the golden rule. Never invest what you are not prepared to lose, because there's very high risk. Then one thing that we need to understand, there is no legit or reliable or safe high yield investment program. And also we need to understand that a high yield investment program is not a get rich quick scheme. Don't think that you just put your money, tomorrow you get double your money. This is very risky. You will lose your money. The older the hype gets, the riskier it becomes. The more it becomes old, the risk it becomes. And also, hyper monitors that pays 1.5% to 5% a day are considered average. Anything beyond is a risk, and anything low is not worth it. If you get a percentage that is lower than 1.5, it is not worth to invest. And if you get more than 5%, this is very risky. On the other hand, hyper monitors are websites will list and advertise hyper in return for referral commission payments and advertising revenue. We have also highlighted that on the hyper monitors, that these are paid to advertise on behalf of hypers, and they also get commission in terms of referrals. I've also put a guide on what to do and what not to do, the do's and don'ts on hyper investments. The first that we need to understand, we need to apply due diligence at all times. Research on the site to gain more information. Join the site that are 1 to 5 days, especially for rates more than 5%. Never join a site that is more than 5 days old. The risk becomes higher as the site becomes old. Also join chat groups with other investors to get latest update on the site prior to investment. Also check sites listed on the various hyper monitors such as latest added and most research. Also use hyper monitors search bar to know current status. You can search for a hyper that you have been referred by someone on the hyper site monitor, and it will give you information. If you cannot find the hyper on the hyper monitor, just forget about investing in that hyper. Also, only reinvest a small amount of profits if you plan to reinvest. When you invest on a hyper monitor and your investment becomes due, do not increase your investment. Try to invest part of the portion that you got from the hyper monitor. Also, you need to read the on the and other info on the site. Before you join a site, you need to read the questions that are asked by people, the common questions that are asked. You need to go through the site and see the information that is on the site. Also, you need to record all hyper investment for ease monitoring. You invest on a number of hypers, so you need to have a notebook where you write the information in terms of the login details, so that you may be able to take a note of the investment that you have made, and also to follow up on the investment. Also ensure that when you are about to invest, Your account details or wallet details are set during registration. Always remember withdrawal PIN codes to avoid future problems. This to avoid failing to withdraw your money from the site. The don'ts: don't be greedy by staying in one hyper for too long. Know when to join and when to quit. This is a hit and run approach. You just need to invest, get your returns, run away. Look for a new hyper, invest, get your returns, run away. Do not believe everything written on hypers. They are only computer programs. Don't ever believe what they write, because this is just to lure you to invest. Do not invest big money in just one hyper. Learn to diversify and spread investment to several. You need to invest in several hypers, small amount of money. The more you invest the large amount of money, the risky to be scammed. Do not join hypersite if there are any inconsistent in their statements, calculator, or when it is difficult to understand. When it is difficult to understand the site or to understand the statements and the calculation of the profits on the sites is different from what they promise, then you need to refrain from that. Refrain from sites that has the word hour as part of their name. Do not trust sites that promote high hourly profits. Do not invest on long-term after plans, as you might get trapped. Do not invest on those hypers that has taken long, that have got long-term after plans. Avoid overused or copycat hyper designs. This one you can only avoid when you join the charts with other investors. They'll tell you that we know these designs, they've already been used before. Don't listen to negative people, doomsayers. They are just only envious of your earnings. People will tell you never get money from hyper investments. They'll tell you a lot of reasons, but I tell you I've made money from these investments, and you can also make money from these investments. So you need to take note of that. Then you need to have a checklist before you invest on a site. The first thing that you need to know is the site offering realistic profit rate with reasonable time for withdrawal. The withdrawal time and the limit is very important, as we shall see. You need to be able to withdraw every day from your investments, so that by the time the site can decide to scam, you would have recovered some of the money. Also, you need to know, does the site have a good and unique design to attract investors? Because the more the site attracts investors, the more you get your return. You need also to know, is the site secure? Do they have a DDoS and SSL? You also need to know, do they have a steady flow of deposit coming in? From the hyper monitors, they will tell you the deposit that has been made. So you need to check on that. Also, does the hyper have a good domain registry? You need to know on that domain registry whether it's good, that the site has at least 2 to 5 monitors that declare the hyper is paying. You need to check the hyper on 3 to 5 monitors that they're declaring is paying. And also, does the site have active live chat or answer a question in timely manner when inquiry through an email? You can make an inquiry to just see if they answer on the site or through an email and see if they answer. If they answer, you are sure that you might get your return. Is the site easily understandable and provides its navigation operational? If you can navigate on the site and understand the site very easily, then you can invest. If the answers are mostly yes, you have done proper research, you can invest now. So after answering this question, you can invest on the site. Thank you very much. Now we want now to go on one of the hyper monitors and also look on the site on the hyper monitors, and understand the site for the hyper monitors. I'll use a site that is called Investor Protect. This is the site that I've been using for some years. On this site, you'll discover that there are many hypers that are listed. We've got Conmex that is offering 2.1% daily for 20 days, 2.5%, daily for 35 days. We've got X bonds that are 5 to 5% daily profit. These are all hypers. But mostly on this site, I usually invest on hypers that are listed on their gold programs. when it is listed on their gold programs, usually it's a bit safe because it has been rated and been accepted that it can take some time before it comes. So you discover here there are 3 sites. We'll look at this site. The first thing that you need to assess is the number of days that the site has been in operation now. For example, this one 482 days, this one 46 days ago, this one 13 days. You discover even you go down, you see these are some of the hypers that are paying. These are one which are in waiting, they are not yet paying. But it will show you all the hypers that are paying and not paying. So I'll put the link on my notes so that you can follow the link for that you to go on the site. When you click, I'm going to click on cryptot.com. When you click on cryptot.com, it will take us to this page where it will give us a review of cryptot.com. You know, in terms of votes, we've got 5-star votes, 30 votes, and it is listed in the gold program. It will show us a brief review of that site. We also have videos. If you want to play videos, you can also see videos. These are review of that site. And also it will tell you the plans that are 2.12% to 3.075% daily, and you after 10 days. The minimum investment is $10 and they don't have maximum investment. The withdrawal method is manual. That means when you request your withdrawal, you get your withdrawal after within a certain period of time, but it's manual, it's not automatic, it's not instant. So this hyper monitor will give us, you know, the number of deposits that has been done, $6,058.09. Today, $168. Yesterday, $203. You know, the referral commission, 1,000. These are done through monitors. And the number of monitors that are on the site, we have got about 7 monitors that the site is listed. So we've done a review of the site on investorprotect.com. Then we can click on the site. When we click on the site, it takes us to the site where we've got a page for registration. That's where you can put in your registration, your login details, username, email, password, confirm a password. Then the upline is Investor Protect. Then you create an account. You know, but before you create an account, you want to go on the frequently asked question. You go on top here, you can go on the home, you can know about the company, the services, the affiliates, what you get if you become an affiliate. You know, on the help center, you click frequently asked questions. When you click frequently asked question, it will take you to the page where you've got our frequently asked questions. These are questions usually asked by investors. So we've got the list of general questions that are asked, the investments questions that are asked by members. We've got the questions about withdrawal, in terms of investment, what are the investment conditions, how to launch the investment process, how to make a deposit, what is the minimum deposit amount, which currency do they accept. When you press here, it will tell you that we are the most suitable, reliable payment system provider covered investment. On our site, available the following e-wallets: Bitcoin, Dash, Tron, Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin, Litecoin. So these are the currencies that are accepted. Then we want to go on the most critical area that you need to understand is the withdrawal part. You know, where we want to understand what is the minimum withdrawal amount. So you need to calculate if you want to invest maybe $10. Are you able to withdraw your profits daily? So you check on the withdrawal amount. For example, if you invest using BTC, the minimum withdrawal is 0.001 BTC. So you need to understand all the information. After understanding all this information, then if you are satisfied, like what I've said, one of the things that we need to take note of is the number of days the site has been in existence. Like what we have said, if it is more than 5 days, don't invest. You can invest, but it's very risky for you. But as long as if it's less than 5 days, you invest. So in brief, that's what I can say with the investments on high yield investment. I'll urge you to take note that you can make money on high yield investment. You can also lose money if you don't take proper diligence on these investments and you don't follow what I've taught you today. You will lose your money. Also take note that many people will try to convince you to invest on these sites. They'll tell you, no, we do mining, we do so and so, we do forex trading, and try to lure you to invest. But you need to do your research. You need to apply the rules as I've said. And also on this site, the site for Investor Protect, we have got a chat room. You can also join the chat room. We've got investors who have been investing on high yield investment program for a long time. They can guide you even before you invest. You can ask question from the chat room. Let's go to the chat room. That is our chat room. You see, then you join the chat room. Then you are able to ask question. You're able to follow up what they are saying about the new sites that are coming in and what they are saying about the admin. Some of the admin of the sites will be in the chat rooms to explain some of the things that you want to understand about the site. So in brief, I say to you, happy investment on high yield investment. Thank you very much.